Okay, so let's just say we were gonna like build this amplifier that I was talking about earlier. So we would have to do. I found these. They're listed under like short wave power amplifier for some reason, and because Amazon like hides these things. So here's what. God damn, this thing is really irritating me. Okay, so here's the options that you have. Like basically, if you're dealing with Amazon, this doesn't have any kind of. This one has filtering, but there's another one that's less. I don't know what they're using inside of this thing. So, but that's $127. It's 50 watts, so it's probably more like 40. And it does have some supposed switching that's designed for certain particular radios. But anyway, that's $127. You can find them on eBay in different places for other prices, but this thing is really slow. Okay, so here's the kit. There's like one left. I don't know. I'm not motivated to buy it. If I was in a hurry, maybe I'd pay the extra money. I can get it on eBay for less. Maybe like $5 or $6 less. So anyway, so let's just say you spend $23 on that. And then you get a surface mount solder station because you're going to need it, because that's how that thing goes together. And then you're going to need to find a heat sink if you don't already have one. And then there's this low pass filter board. You're going to need that. If I can find it on here. It might be on here, I don't know. Okay, so low pass filter board. Shows there's one for 36, only one left. I thought I looked at this before. It's got some really weird shipping date. So it might not be sold from Prime. There was another one on here. I don't know why it's not showing up. One was $48 and one was $36. So you get all this stupid audio low pass crap. So interesting stuff though. They even got weird stuff like this. Low pass filter, 20, 30, 40 CW SSB filter for amateur radio frequencies. 7 megahertz, 10 megahertz, 14 megahertz. It's got like some switches on it. That's kind of cool. Interesting stuff. There's another one of these. Adjustable oscillator modules, OCXOs. That's interesting. It says it's 10 megahertz, but I think you can adjust it. I don't know how far. Okay, so that's the other one. It's $48. So these here, just pull this up. Come on. Okay, so this is going to use... I'm not sure why there's not more relays. There should be 8 bands on here. And I'm guessing that it's using 2 bands per relay. So you got... J2 is probably in or out and in power. And then if you count these... You got okay, so we can see here on the board 10 through 15, 20 through 17, 40, and then 80. So it probably doesn't even do 160. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 groups of bands. Yeah. So 4 relays. So a better board would have probably a little bit more broken up. But the main thing is, like, to build this yourself and make it that compact, it'd be pretty damn hard. I mean, you'd have to be some kind of electrical engineer in order to come up with this out of thin air. I'm sure there's somewhere where, they, in the ARRL handbook or something like that. Um, so even if you got to pay $48, so then, like, let's say you pay $48 for that, and you pay like $30, so like $80 for a low pass filter and an amplifier kit. And then you're probably going to need to buy some IRF 530s because you're probably going to burn them up. But then you're going to figure out like the enclosure, the heat sink, and all that other stuff. And I'm not sure, if it's worth it at that point. But we'll take a look on eBay here in a second. So on eBay, you can easily buy one like this. This is kind of more like an LD MOS type of device. I think I wrote down somewhere what device it is. So there's a min PA is what they call it, a 100, and a 50. There's a couple different boards. The soldering looks terrible on these. Like right here. Anyway, they got a couple different ones. But I was thinking, as much as I'd love to build one, it could be easier if you could just find a US seller. And buy one of these already on the heat sink and everything like that, already assembled. But then there's even like, if you want to order from China, $22. This one is a weird one. It's 30 watts. So this is why, like, I kind of talk about, like, it doesn't make sense to buy certain kinds of radios for like portable or whatever, like, because this is taking up a lot of room for 30 watts, okay? And then you combine this with a radio like the X6100, the 818, the 817, maybe even something like old ICOM 703, 705. It's now taking up a whole crap load of room. You've got wires all over the place. You've got to contend with more than one power supply. It just becomes silly at that point. So, if you want to do that, that's cool, but it just, it starts to get a little complicated. So, some of these say 2 through 54. Some of them say different things. So if you want to build the 45 watt kit, you can get that for $11. And, that might be worth buying. Just because that one's like super cheap. It's less than half the price of the Amazon one that's $23 or whatever. You'll probably wait forever for it to show up, but it's $11.71, and or best offer. So you literally can probably offer them $10, but they'll probably say no, from what my experience is. This one uses a different setup than all the other ones, and I don't know if it actually has a low input in and out, okay, we got RF in right here. We've got some devices over here and some devices over here, and then RF out. And I think this thing is like literally on, like continuously on. This particular seller, Module Fans, has stuff from China and stuff that's not. So you're gonna have to surface mount these. And I think, like, I would have fun building this just to test out my stuff. So this says RF amp 530. So I think it's an IRF 530. So if you get 45 watts out of it, I mean, like, that's plenty fine for an experimental thing. So a question is, do you want to build some experimental deal, or do you want to buy something that's already made? What is the purpose? So like these here, these are pretty cool, but I don't know exactly how big it is. It's 50 watts. So what's the point of I having a almost $600 portable radio that looks nice and everything, but has like birdies in the radio, and then I hook it up to some amplifier that costs $175, and if you have a problem with this one, you're in trouble, because this is coming from China, and they're going to want you to send it back if there's a problem. Okay? And you're not going to find these. They don't have them on Amazon. So anyway, if there's a problem with this, you're basically screwed. Maybe the seller will give you your money back. But if they want you to send it back, you're going to have to mail it back. It's not going to be worth the cost. So, but the thing is, so you buy a $500, $600 portable radio, and then you buy this, or let's say you buy the $545 Xiegu amp. You're just over $1,000 now for this like portable radio. And, basically, you might as well forget it, because now you've got extra crap and you're wasting your time. So, and honestly, so for as far as like, it depends on what your agenda and your objective is. If you just want to operate portable and you want 100 watts, then this is the wrong way to go about it. If you want to operate at home with your portable radio and you want 100 watts, or you want to drive the amplifier, it'll work, but realistically, it's stupid, because the radio doesn't really offer anything that other things don't have. It's not like a Hermes light or something where it's just going to sound amazing and you can do lots of stuff with it. So, and it's also not cost effective if you're a new ham to buy a QRP radio and then have to buy an amplifier like this. Especially because if you're a new ham and you buy a QRP radio and you buy an amp like this, you're still not even doing 100 watts. And you probably can't afford, another amplifier. So what I found is I can take my QRP radio and I can run it into my regular amplifier and I can get up almost 100 watts out of it. So I don't need one of these for at home, but if I wanted to do, like legal limit with my amplifier and the QRP radio, then I would need one. So now if I wanted to operate portable and I wanted, more power, then I would need one of these, or I would need a different radio. So that is true. So you kind of gotta decide what really is the most important thing. So anyway, let's get back to looking at some of this other stuff. So here is a 100 watt low pass filter board inside some kind of enclosure. It's got all the connectors on it, and they want like $80. We were looking at those on Amazon. They were cheaper. And we got like pallets for, the BLF 188 LD Moss. This would be cool to build. I don't know how much these cost. We could look it up real quick, I guess. BLF 188. Let's go here. BLF 188. I think they're kind of expensive. Yeah, so they're like $90 a piece. So I don't know if there is I don't know if there's a cheap place to get them or not. I don't know if there's counterfeit ones, because that's another problem. China will counterfeit everything. So Like, I like the idea that here's this, like, single device that can do, like, legal limit, but here's the problem. You got to get rid of that heat. Okay, that's a lot of heat you got to get rid of. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're on here to look at other small stuff. Here's another board, a different style. I haven't really seen this one before, and the devices are on the bottom, and they're not showing you what they are. It says it's a 100-watt board. See, that's the thing. I think if you're going to build the amp, then you should probably build the 100-watt one, because you know you're not going to get 100 watts anyway. So it does have PTT. Usually it should be a jumper for a low-pass board. Anyway, you can just feed it into it. Let's see. It's interesting. It's giving me weird results. There are a lot of these. What is this one? 100 watts. What does this one look like? So this one looks like the one that you would build on Amazon. If we get a good picture of it. Hold on. Okay. So, XDT PA70. So see, they're full of crap. They're calling it a 100-watt amp, but it's not. Yeah, it's not. So, all right. 100 watts maximum if you feed it with 15.8 volts. So they're claiming it'll handle 15.8 volts. Another thing you can see here, there's some attempt at some kind of filtering here. These are coils. That's where the low pass board would normally attach on this. It's very strange. They've actually, looks like they've possibly cut down the board a little bit. Yeah, so they call it the low pass filter. So, I mean, if it works, it works, you know. I mean, like, you know. Look at FCC logo. You're out of your mind. Holy crap. So, there's stuff like that on here, you know. But again, if you have a problem with it, it's coming from China. So, this one says it's 180 watts, and it might be. So this board says 250 something on it, PA 250. What is nice about this one is I don't see any surface mount components. There isn't any. And then we're looking at the back of the board. So it'd be connected here and here, I think. I'm not sure. I can't tell. Yeah, okay. So we get... So the transistors are on the back. One goes this way, one goes that way. But they won't show you what they are. This would probably be a really good design because it's through hole, and if you have an issue with one of the components, which I doubt you would, but like, I mean, you know, it's just a little bit more rugged. So I would much rather deal with a board like this, especially looking at the size difference of it, you know. And if you could get 250 watts out of it, or even 200, like, I think that would be like well worth messing around with. So unfortunately, what I don't like about eBay is, like, there's no way for anybody to leave reviews on these things. They do have there's just, you could sit here for days looking at all the crap on here. Here's a power module. I mean, there's just, there's lots of stuff here. This one says right here, I wonder if that's the same kind. It's $38, $39. Same one. And it's labeled 180 watt on the bag. Do they give you devices? That's what I want to know. So now, one thing, I guess eBay does have the money back guarantee. I don't know how that works anymore nowadays. I don't know if it's easy to get them to honor that. But that's a pretty good price on that one. So here's another one. And it's got a little closure on it. Fan. We can't really get a good look at the side of it. See if they've done that other weird thing with it. So start up at the top here. So if you go on eBay, you look up QRP amps. I think I'm looking at USA only. There's a ton of these things. They're $77. I've seen some mixed reviews on these. I've seen people blowing them up on YouTube. I'm not sure what's inside of that one, but there is no low pass filter. But you're getting an enclosure, and I don't know. I kind of see something on the bottom here. It sort of looks like there's something on the bottom. You say that they're in stock in the USA, so I could see buying these over a lot of other things. One thing I don't like is the BNC connectors. I don't care for that at all. Okay, maybe that's just something else I'm seeing. So anyway, these don't do 50 watts. We already know that. I've seen videos that do about 40. So there's a bunch of those on here. You can totally get those all day long. Here's the basically like Amazon kit. Basically, $25, 70 watts. It's gonna do like 40 or 50. And this one's, you know, it's surface mount, so and again, SMA crap. So the 45 watt kit is different. It's arranged differently. I'm not sure they show a completed version, because I'm not sure how you wind the binocular core. They don't show you. Because the other one, you break out the circuit board and you use the pieces in the center, and they have tubes that go through. So let's go through here a little bit further. And then, so for like, I think for 50 bucks right here, basically this thing here, you're gonna get the same thing as that one with the funny kangaroo on the front of it. It's basically, you're not going to get any more or less. In fact, this might be more, because I know this uses a different transistor. So I don't know what this one's rated at. Can't read the board from here, but it doesn't really matter. Let's see. Emma. Frequency 1.5 to 54. That's not bad. Says it's located in New York. But, you know, I mean, there's nothing on this one here. I don't think it has a... Where's the keying? They didn't even show you the back of the damn thing. There is no key. So this has an RF sensing circuit. The other one doesn't. You can almost kind of see what's going on here. This is this jagged looking thing. That's in front of this thing's a circuit board. I don't know what this is. Is this like, what is this? A kangaroo? A rat? Some kind of gerbil? And it's not even an amplifier, it's an amplify. Awesome. So this one here, well, you'd have to key it. I'd have to look at it a little bit better, but so they're just all over the place. They call this one 30 watt, but you know, one of them says 180. You just don't know what the hell it is. That one says 30 again. Maybe it really is 30. Could it be? I don't know. I thought I saw one like that said 180. They look larger to me. Just let them say 30. Interesting. These are really popular right here. It'd be really nice if they actually had them fulfilled by Amazon or a US seller. So you got these. This has a tuner in it. I don't know about this. I've seen it before. So anyway, so that's about it for here. What I basically found is, if you want to order on eBay and you want to order from someone that's supposed to be in the US, you can get these 45 watt kits for 19. You can get where are the other ones? There's a bunch of different kits here. So you can select 45 or 70. At this price point, this one's not worth it because it's actually $23 on Amazon. So at any rate, that's basically what you got. You can get one for 16, you get one for 25. Maybe I'm not searching the proper criteria, but if you want to order from China, yeah, you can get it a lot cheaper. But anyway, so and then there's just a ton of these things here, you know, for $77 to $80. And then I guess these are 30 watts. I don't know if they're any good. So anyway, I'm going to do a little more research and we'll get back on it later.